I don't see many hands.
Right here.
Okay. See here. Burning questions? Oh, okay, we'll start here. Are you ready?
Are you familiar with solar e-bike campers? That is to say, solar-powered e-bike camper trailers that can be hauled by e-bikes with solar panels on top of them, which produce enough energy to propel the e-bikes without having to plug in to the grid or gas-powered electricity.
So I'll answer this one since it's a kind of a solar question. So we love solar technology here at Aptera, and we don't just want solar panels to be restricted to the Aptera. So as you guys might have known, we've had other partnerships with other companies to bring our innovative solar technology to anywhere we can. Anything with a battery in it, we want a solar panel on it, at least where it makes sense. So, if we get a good partnership with an e-bike company that has a solar camper on it, we'd be happy to talk with them about throwing some solar panels on it. Or at least I would, so.
That was great. And when we do, I think you should be the spokesperson for it because I love the way you worded that, the sound of wording that question. Thank you for your question.
Hi, my name is David Hitchings, and I was a Northrop Grumman engineer and aerospace engineer. I wanted this car ever since it had a motor. And my question is about the solar also. This area gets very, very hot. And so what's the temperature coefficients that you guys have tested to cooling the car in the Las Vegas climate at the same time as charging the car? For example, Nellis gets to 140 degree tarmac. So what kind of temperature coefficients can we do in places like Phoenix and Las Vegas? I'm concerned that it might be too hot here.
So you probably mean how hot of a temperature will the solar panels be able to withstand? We're designing for normal automotive temperatures and for normal solar temperatures. So in Las Vegas, there's a ton of solar farms around. We're designing them just like that. So anything Las Vegas can handle, the Aptera should be able to handle.
That's awesome news. All right, got a question here?
All right, how soon can we see a Polydrops and Aptera road trip with Aptera Solar on top of the Polydrops?
Yeah, we don't have a tow hitch on the Aptera. But I would love to see something like that one day. Maybe somebody could throw it together and see how it does.
All right.
Hello there, my name is Jeff Livingston. I am the engineer, but I had a question. Oh my gosh. I had a question relating to your time at CES. What is your favorite moment from CES? Any one of you, or all of you?
I'm gonna answer that. There are actually two moments. One was on the first day on Tuesday morning. The doors were supposed to be open at 9. I showed up at the booth at about 8:30 and was packed. So that was it. And the second one is actually right now. So if you guys can bear with me. Smile.
All right, that was a great question. Okay, I looked at him, so what's your question, sir?
Hi, Marco Landi, investor. Really happy to be here. You guys are amazing. So, we're looking at the release of Aptera like the release edition in 2025. Looking farther, what is your dream bucket list of design ideas? Is there an Aptera with a sunroof? The sunroof is still solar, but it slides back. Is there a Aptera van? What are you looking at for the future past this, which I know is like a major milestone? But you know, what are you thinking about for the future?
The list is limitless. If you add anything on Aptera and next versions, I will go for it soon. But it's limitless. You can add anything on Aptera, but we have to launch a vehicle first, prove it first, road safe first, and be successful company in the industry, and then the limit is infinity. We are going solar everywhere.
I can add a little bit to that. Without getting too much into the details, I think I would be very excited to see the belly pan radiator work. It's definitely something that we're looking into, and there's challenges with everything that we design on the vehicle, but that would definitely be a very exciting thing. And just for the thermal system, I think we don't have a heat pump in the system right now, but that would also be great to implement. I think this first version is going to be, a well-designed, like back to the basics kind of build of something that works, something that we can put onto the road and that will drive well and work well. And then from there we can optimize and make it as perfect as possible. And to really be on the leading edge, because we're a pretty small team, we can't always keep up with everything that everyone else is doing out there. But as we build, we also gain more experience and we get more familiar with how everything is done. So I think the next iteration will just come faster and be smoother, and we'll have all the perfect optimizations that you would wish for in a vehicle.
Maybe I would like to make it fly as soon as possible. Yeah, everybody that looks at the Aptera the first time, they say, where are the wings? So I think flying is in our future. And you guys think I'm joking, but the way that we are building this vehicle is the architecture that will allow us to build vehicles that are actually flying, not just on the road.
So for me, I'd love to see a special edition Aptera with, I don't know how many of you solar nerds there are out there, I imagine it's all of you, but a gallium arsenide packed Aptera with 50% cell efficiency like they have on satellites. I think that'd be insane. I don't know how much that would cost, or if it's feasible, but if we're just talking bucket list, I'd love to see a supercharged Aptera.
The first product in a portfolio of solar mobility products, Aptera is. All right, we got a good question over here.
Thanks, Audrey. Murray Thibodeau here from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Investor number 789. Actually, three things. One, I want a heated steering wheel and heated seats. Two, when can I see the 600-mile and 1,000-mile battery packs? And three, when are we going to get the cut design so we can start designing our own vinyl wraps?
All right. Vinyl wraps is the last question. I think the vinyl thing will come, can come pretty soon. The body structure has been tooled and it is what it is. So that seems like an easy one. Can you answer the other ones, Augusto?
Well, let me stay on the vinyl wrap first. First of all, it's not going to be vinyl. It's going to be a different material. But one of the goals was from the beginning to not have to paint the vehicle. To be able to give you, the customers, the chance to personalize the vehicles as you want. And so we're working very hard with our partners on how to make that happen. Because it's one thing to wrap one vehicle, it's a challenge to wrap 20,000 a year. And we're going to do that. So I'm gonna let the other guys answer that.
Just so you all know, we're going to make this the last question, and we'll do closing remarks after this, and then we'll all be around so we can all talk to all the engineers, and we can get back to the party too.
Talking on the heated seat and heated steering wheel. So currently we have tapered down the features for the launch edition. Currently we will not be having those on the launch edition. Maybe after we launch the vehicle, and then we will put on all the additional features in those. Thank you.
All right. We good?
There was a question about battery, and I'm going to answer the first question as well. The vehicle is built in a very modular fashion. So as technologies evolve, we can update the vehicles not just on the software side, but also on the technical feature side. So the 600-mile battery and the 1,000-mile battery will come as the technology allows us. For the heated steering wheel and the cup holders, or the heated seats, my wife asked me the same question. So.
All right.
So I got a lineup of about 3 really quick questions that we could just call 3 parts. So we're gonna go, we can take it pretty fast, but here's the first one.
With small cars, collision risks are always a big thing. What are future safety features that you're hoping to put in that aren't in yet?
First of all, this is an auto cycle, and you're asking for this Aptera car. Okay, this is an auto cycle. It has some limited regulation to be passed, but we add on some regulation to be passed by us only. It is not required by government, but we are giving us a safety vehicle. So we have 2 airbags, which is and seat belt with resistance system, and then roof rail for roof brush, and side doors have FMVSS regulation required intrusion beam, and the frontal side we have the crush zone for the frontal impact, and the rear side we have structural member for rear impact. So we have almost everything that is required for a road safe vehicle. With this speed, in any casualty, our customer or passenger need to be safe. You are Aptera passengers, so we want you to be safe on the road. Yep. That's our main challenge, and we accepted it, and we have validated it virtually, and our vehicle has that. This Apollo has that feature in it.
Thank you.
Usually we need to validate it, and next level is that one. We are going into validation and testing phase in next 6 to 7 months, and that proves that.
Safety is our #1 priority, right?
Just a quick one. I've heard a lot about going forward, but how fast will it go in reverse, and how stable is it?
Well, I've been driving it a lot. Incredibly stable. It's impossible to flip. It's amazing, and stable in reverse too. It feels like a 4-wheel vehicle in every single way. It's incredible what the suspension team was able to do. All right, final question, Audra?
Yeah.
2 more, okay.
Yeah. And if you have seen our previous videos with our alphas, I think so, going through the cone test with the 60-mile speed, and our wheels are on the road at that time. You can see on the YouTube that videos, old videos, even that vehicle is not tuned, but it is on the road through the cone test.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi, so my question is about the all-wheel drive. All-wheel drive. When can we expect an all-wheel drive model? Is it beyond the launch edition? And if so, when? And also related to that, when will we see the Comma.ai system integrated? Will the launch edition have it, or is it after the launch edition? So the rear wheel and the Comma. Thank you.
As I said earlier, the design is modular, so as the technologies are getting more mature, we are adding those features, including the all-wheel drive. For the third wheel to be driven, the best solution is the in-wheel motor, and we are working very closely with our partners on making that feature available. my dream personally would be to be able to retrofit vehicles at a later time when the technology becomes available. But I'm not going to make promises in the name of the engineers. And for OpenAI applications, I think Chris is the expert.
Yeah, it will be determined in the validation and testing phase how soon we can add OpenPilot into the vehicle, but it's the long-term vision of this company to add OpenPilot into this vehicle. We'll try to do it as soon as we possibly can, pending everything else we have to validate, which is much more important.
All right, one last question. Thank you all.
Okay, so this is a question to you engineers from an engineer. I'm curious, what is your favorite thing you've learned about the reality we live in, whether that's like what energy is or how aerodynamics works, or I just understand the process of fixing a problem and learning the root cause. And I'm just curious, what was one of your highlights in that process?
I want to beat Kiva to it.
That's a hard one. All right, you go first.
I think, so, kind of to answer that in like a general way, like a vehicle is a super complex system and it has like so many little things in it that all have to work together, and it's such a huge design. And you have all the mechanical, you have like thermal, you have lighting, you have closures, you have solar panels now too, and like the weirdest part and like the really fascinating part is just it's such a huge complex system, and fitting something that complex together with it all working well, and if one thing breaks, making sure all the other things keep working, like that's kind of the craziest bit. It's like, making it safe means making it keep going, even if, the headlight blinks off, we have to make sure everything else is still fine. So that's kind of the crazy bit.
I think the main thing is that for 3 years we have been looking at this vehicle in CAD. So you're looking at it on the screen. And when the parts start showing up, when the actual vehicle comes together, just like in the last 2 months, we all had a lot of oh crap moments, but also it's just so exciting to see something physical in your hands that you can drive. And I know you guys are very impatient to have your vehicles, but you will have the same feeling when you sit in the Aptera for the first time. You will have that oh crap moment, and that's the biggest challenge to go from like the 2D kind of idea to an actual physical vehicle, and that's an amazing thing too.
For me, this question. For me, this question is just like your mom's made some food for you and what you like out of it. I love everything in this vehicle. It is just like that.
So when you said you are an engineer, and we are a bunch of engineers, we love the problems, and we love to solve the good problems, and we have Aptera as a good problem to solve and accommodate everyone in the vehicle.
For me, I think it's very easy to take a lot of things that we use in everyday life for granted, such as the cars we drive, and we just assume that the people that make those cars know what's best, and they know the best of the technology to use in those things. And I think what's really been eye-opening for me is that a pretty small team here in San Diego, we've been able to kind of think outside the box and do things that a lot of traditional companies have not thought of, I guess, or have not tried to do. So it kind of made me realize that the limit is not necessarily with the biggest companies and the ones that you think are always leading the trend of things, but the people who are willing to take risks and think outside the box and work quickly and make changes quickly. So, yeah.
All right. Did you want to say anything, Reed? You're the only one who didn't. Then yeah, can head out.
So you may not realize it, but when you see one of the solar panels, there have been hundreds of solar panels that happened before that one. There's a lot to say about perseverance in engineering, and a huge part of making a solar panel is you make a solar panel and then you tweak it, and then you make another solar panel and then you tweak it, and then you throw that one away because it was worse than the last one, and then you start over again. So engineering has a lot of that in it, and especially a vehicle as different and as unique as this one. So if you're an engineer, perseverance is your best friend.
Amazing. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for doing this in front of all these people. We really, really appreciate you guys. This is incredible. So thank you all. Thank you guys. All right. Well, now the DJ's going to come back. We're going to party, and we're going to all be around with all of